Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into three of the biggest names in project management: Scrum, SAFe, and extreme programming. By the time we're done, you're going to have a really clear idea of which of these paths might be the perfect fit for you and your team.
So let's kick things off with a situation I'm sure we've all been in. You and your team have this absolutely brilliant, game-changing idea. The energy's electric, the vision is crystal clear. But the actual path from that idea to a finished product, well, it just feels messy, unpredictable, and honestly, a little bit chaotic. And that's where Agile frameworks come in. They're designed to bring some order to all that chaos, helping you deliver value piece by piece instead of in one giant risky drop. But here's the thing. They are not one size fits all. Picking the right one is absolutely critical. Okay, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the big one, the one you've almost certainly heard of, Scrum. It's probably the most popular Agile framework on the planet, and for good reason. It's perfectly built for a very specific kind of team. So picture this. You're a startup with maybe 8 people, and you're building a brand new social media app. You launch your first version, and bam! Users tell you they love your photo filters, but they absolutely hate the messaging feature. You need to pivot, and you need to do it fast. That's the sweet spot for Scrum. At its heart, Scrum is all about focus and speed. It takes these huge, overwhelming projects and chops them up into these small, digestible chunks of work we call sprints. Think of them as short, focused bursts, usually about 2 weeks, where the team commits to getting a specific set of things done. And for this to actually work, everyone needs to know their job, right? You've got the product owner who decides what gets built, you've got the developers who figure out how to build it, and the Scrum Master who makes sure the whole process is running smoothly. Then, at the end of every single sprint, the team stops, looks at what they made, and adapts their plan. It's a constant cycle of learning. But, and this is a big but, here's where so many teams trip up. They treat Scrum like it's just a checklist of meetings instead of a whole mindset. Let's say the team's goal for the sprint is improve photo filter performance, but then you've got people pulling them off that work to go fix some tiny bug on the login screen. Well, that focus is just gone, and the whole system starts to crumble.
So here's the bottom line. If you have a single, focused team that needs to learn and react to what customers want and do it quickly, Scrum is an incredible tool. It's built for speed and flexibility, one problem at a time. Okay, that's great for one team. But what happens when that small startup gets huge, or maybe it gets bought by a big corporation? Suddenly, you've got dozens of teams all trying to work on the same thing. That's where our next framework comes into play. Now, this is a whole different kind of chaos. Imagine a huge national bank trying to modernize its entire online platform. You've got a team for the mobile app, a team for the website, teams for security, back-end teams. I mean, if they're not perfectly in sync, the mobile team could push a new feature that the database team wasn't ready for, and the whole thing just breaks. This problem of scale needs a different tool, and that tool is the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe. You can almost think of SAFe as the air traffic control system for all those individual Scrum teams. It adds these extra layers of planning and coordination to make sure all those planes, all those teams, are flying in the same direction and not crashing into each other. So how does SAFe actually pull this off? Well, what's really cool is this concept called a program increment, or a PI. It's kind of like a giant super sprint, usually about 8 to 12 weeks long, where all the teams literally get in a room for 2 days and plan out their work together. It's this massive planning event that acts like the heartbeat for the whole organization. Okay, but here's the catch with SAFe. The biggest danger is that it can get really slow and bureaucratic if you're not careful. If it just turns into another top-down command and control system, you end up crushing the very thing that makes Agile, well, Agile. It absolutely requires massive support from leadership to work. So, to put it simply, you bring in SAFe when you are facing that challenge of alignment at a massive scale. Think huge corporate IT projects or launching a new car where hundreds and hundreds of people all have to work together perfectly. All right, for our last one, let's completely switch gears. We're going to zoom all the way in from that huge organizational view and look at a framework that cares about one thing above everything else: the quality of the engineering itself. So for this scenario, imagine a team building high-frequency trading software where a millisecond bug could literally lose you millions of dollars. Or what about the software that guides a Mars rover? You can't exactly send a mechanic to Mars to fix a bug after you launch. In these cases, the technical quality is just Non-negotiable. For that, you need extreme programming, or XP. See, unlike Scrum, which is really about managing the project, XP is all about the nitty-gritty, the technical practices of how you actually write the software. It's designed from the ground up to produce the highest possible quality code in environments where things are changing constantly. And this is where you really see the difference. It's pretty amazing. XP is all about its core engineering disciplines. You have practices like pair programming, where you have two developers at one computer. They're literally coding together, catching each other's mistakes in real time. Or test-driven development, where you actually write a test that fails before you write a single line of code to make it pass. It's a very rigorous way to work.
But here's the deal. You can't just pick and choose the parts you like. Trying to do XP without really solid automation for your testing and integration, it just completely misses the point. All these practices are a system. They rely on each other to create this incredible safety net that lets the team move super fast without worrying about breaking everything.
So when do you pick XP? You pick it when you have that small, super disciplined team building something really complex, where top-tier technical quality and the ability to change on a dime are the absolute most important things.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, right? 3 totally different frameworks for 3 totally different problems. Let's put them all side by side and make this choice super clear. This table, really, it just lays it all out. Are you that single startup team trying to find your place in the market? That's Scrum territory. Are you that massive bank trying to get hundreds of people on the same page? You should be looking at SAFe. Or are you building that Mars rover software where quality is everything? That's a job for XP. It's never about which one is best. It's about which one fits your problem.
And look, if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Don't let anyone ever tell you there's one right way to be agile. Your context, your team size, your company's culture, the thing you're actually building, your context is king.
So that leaves us with one final question to take back with you. I want you to take a hard look at how you and your team work and ask yourselves honestly, are you really using the right tool for the job? Or are you just going through the motions, ticking off boxes on a checklist? The answer to that question could change everything.